Okay, hey everybody, welcome to the first in the Dirty Marketing webinar series sponsored by Thanks.io. My name's Ryan Hartman. I'm one of the co-founders of Thanks.io. I think I have Mel, Justin, maybe Shane on. Can you guys hear me, or do I need to let you in?
Can hear you.
Oh, good. Justin's here. So everybody, thank you for coming today. I sent the invite out about an hour or two ago, kind of last minute, but we will be doing this webinar every Thursday at the same time, 5 p.m. East. And it will be recorded. So if you miss one, we'll definitely post it. We'll email it out, or we'll post it inside of the Dirty Marketing Dirty Marketing Facebook group at Dirty Marketing Mastermind. So so what we're going to do today is we're going to walk through some of the recent changes with Thanks.io. We had a big update about a week and a half ago. We added a bunch of new features, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about some of the tracking stuff we've been up to as well. Feel free to ask any questions that you might have in the chat box. I'm going to bring that up in my other window so I don't miss you. And by show of hands, guys, if you could, the people who are here, who is already using Thanks.io regularly? Are you using it, or did you just kind of see this email and you're curious about what we're up to? I would love to hear that feedback if you have a minute to give it. And then we'll dig in now and start talking about some of the recent changes. Okay. So so let's jump in. First off, we got the new homepage right here. And I'll kind of just give you an overview for those of you who haven't seen it of some of the most recent features. Justin, let me know if I skip anything. Okay.
Will do.
Yep. So one of the things I'm most excited about is our new letters feature. So Thanks.io for the past few years has been exclusively postcards. It's worked great. Lots of people sending cards to follow up with e-commerce, to say, hey, thank you, to get reviews, to do upsells. Other people are using the cards to thank new members in their membership sites. We have a bunch of realtors sending all kinds of cool, fun stuff. But one of the things with postcards is they're more geared toward follow-up, in my opinion, kind of keeping a relationship going, and they're not so great for making the initial sales pitch. Part of the reason is that you don't have a lot of space with a postcard, right? You just have, however, kind of like tweeting something, a little bit longer. What letters allows us to do, and I'm opening it up here, it allows us to really send a much larger message and to really get some copywriting done and a more sophisticated sales message in order to generate leads and sales directly. So as I open it up here, you can see you're able to now design your own letterhead. So this is our design that Justin put together right here. That's really easy to do. You can design it using Canva. You can upload your own letterhead PNG right here. And Justin, you had a good idea last week on a call. You can actually upload the whole letter if you want and skip all of our handwriting if you want.
Yeah, that's totally true. I had somebody that wanted a fully designed card or letter all the way done themselves with their own font or their own writing or anything. So we just did it and uploaded it and went around our whole handwriting engine.
Yeah, so you can upload the whole thing. But in general, when you design it, you have this kind of top third here. You have the very top and toward the bottom, and then all the handwriting goes in the middle. So I'm going to kind of just continue through and just show how it works really quickly. I had a template that we were using internally here that I'll show you on the screen. That's kind of what it looks like. You can change, as always, the font, like so. You'll also notice, and I'll talk about this in a minute, we've got a phone number call to action in here. And if people call this phone number, it actually goes through an interesting flow where it can do a recorded message. It can route to people on your team, but it also sends an automated text, which I think opens up some interesting implications around generating leads, where you send a letter out and you say, hey, we're doing XYZ. To find out more, call and listen to a quick recorded call. But when they call, you can send them text out with a meeting link or something like that. So save and continue here. As always, you can send to an uploaded CSV file, an existing list. You can drop a pin, send to the whole map, like that. I think, Justin, we're retooling something with the buy leads in this flow, right?
It's just the screen size. Make it bigger, you'll see it.
Okay. Let's see here. There it is, of course. Another thing that we've updated recently is the buy leads functionality. There's actually a lot more data in here now. So if I go to individuals, for example, I can go straight into Thanks.io and buy a list of people turning 65 years old.
Yeah, and this is huge compared to all the stuff that Facebook cracked down on. So if you guys have specific demographics you're looking to really target, this is it. I mean, this is more than Facebook ever had. So it's all here.
Yeah, veteran in household. If you're in a if you're a mortgage person. And guys, these webinars, by the way, we're going to do them every week. We're going to kind of show off some stuff, but they are for you too. So if you have a certain business that you're in and you're up to something, you want to tell us in the chat and say, hey, I'm a bankruptcy lawyer. How do I get leads with this thing? Feel free to chat us and we can do some of that live and brainstorm with you if you want.
Yeah, and if we don't get you live, we'll follow up afterwards and we can still help you.
Yep. So yeah, lots of different demographic targeting, political affiliation. You can also target businesses. So great B2B uses here. I've been going in here. I mentioned I had a buddy over recently. He builds fire protection tanks, but he's like, can we target poultry farmers? And I was like, I don't think so. But lo and behold, I was able to go in here and you can actually get a list of people with poultry farms. So if you have kind of a really niche business and you have a hard time finding that target on Facebook or Google, we can probably help. So that's the new letter stuff. Anything else here, Justin?
There was a bunch of updates that are coming out with kind of the more geekier stuff. If you guys have any of the API use or Zapier use, it's all been updated. So if you haven't been in here recently, definitely come in and take a look, especially with our order tracking. We got a lot more granular with the fulfillment of the orders, where they are when it comes to the U.S. Postal Service callback stuff. So, is it in transit? Is it in the local area? Is it out to the mailbox? So all that stuff's super easy to track now.
Yeah, so here's one I sent a few days ago. It's still out processing. Let me find one, an example of the order fulfillment. I didn't even know we were doing this until the other day, how deep it went. And I was really it was really cool. Let me see if this one's done. Still out for delivery. Find one.
Yeah, those bigger ones should be done by now.
Yeah, this one was done. So you can see, and while it was in progress, I was able to say, hey, it's kind of in transit. It's going out. Yep. This one is now 99% delivered.
Yeah.
Which by the way, I tried just having people only scan a QR code, and it didn't work that great. I only got like 20 scans out of 200. So.
Which still isn't bad. I mean, back in the old days, the QR stuff before it was on phones was like 1 out of 200.
Yeah, I tried sending to a list of business opportunity seekers, and all it said was scan. Only one person texted to get the webinar as well. So it could have just been the messaging. But that's another example where I think having people call for a recorded, it's a little easier to pick up your phone and call than it is to figure out how to QR code something.
Yeah, you want to kind of segue into that and how we kind of figured out the best way to track cards and letters when it comes to converting these traditional letters and postcards into something more digital.
Yeah, but I don't want to forget real quick the Subaccounts.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So another feature, guys, if any of you are marketing consultants or you have a team and you have multiple users at your office, you can now do Subaccounts and kind of run everybody's campaign separate, track how much is being billed, and then kind of resell Thanks.io if you want to. So that's just right here under the active account section. Cool. Any questions before we transition to what Justin just mentioned, the phone tracking stuff? I know we got not a ton of you on because I announced late, but there's a handful. Let me call people out. Come on, Michael. How you doing, man? I know Michael Erdman's on. He's a friend of mine. Is there anything you're trying to do with us? I know you've been looking to get started for a while, and I probably haven't followed up. All right, he's not talking.
Yeah, they're okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry to do that to you.
No, that's totally great. No, I was just thinking, even as you were going over the demographic, because that's something that we're really struggling with right now. I've been running more Facebook ads and stuff and trying to get activity. We're trying to push people to a free trial and things like that is kind of the strategy right now that we've been working with. But it seems like the targeting is just really difficult and it's way more expensive than it used to be. At least that's been my experience lately. So yeah, one of the things, like, just because we're obviously focused on mortgage lenders are our probably best target audience. So is there a way to be able to get the leads to where we're actually sending like postcards that drive people back to like an educational opportunity online?
Yeah.
That would be specific to like registered loan officers?
Yep, and I wanted to bring up your site so everybody could see it and encourage other people on these webinars to participate, because this is what you'll get. You get a plug. So
nice. I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get.
Good plug.
So
MySmartBlog.com.
Yeah,
MySmartBlog.com.
So yeah, so to answer your question, say you want to send a letter or postcard to people in the mortgage business right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I go to mailing list right here and go to buy leads, it's pretty simple. We're going to go right to businesses.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to go to demography, and it's this SIC code right here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I'm saying it's supposed to be SIC. And you can do mortgage, and then it kind of just opens up for you. So mortgage brokers, maybe.
I think that's the main company. I think he wants the individuals.
Well, yeah, it could go one of two different ways. I mean, we could create a campaign to like, so another really good target for us, because we rolled out some stuff where we're doing corporate accounts, especially for like small to mid-size brokerages, maybe like up to 10 to 100 LOs in maybe 1 to 5 branches.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're a really good fit for those people.
Yeah.
So we could do a campaign that would go like to broker owners, also, that would, you know, be focused on showing them how they can have this secure and controlled environment to get content marketing out, but in mass, and allow their loan officers to participate in the social space without a lot of the threat of getting sued or anything like that.
Yeah. Is this for the whole country, Ryan, on the geography?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we're anywhere in the U.S.
Yeah, so that is the whole country. We only had mortgage brokers picked right here, but I could expand it out.
Yeah.
So do this, but you can see right there, I was able to go by the number of employees.
Yeah.
So 1 to 4, and you can get a nice list here of 552.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, and Michael, I'd probably go with letters. I'm not trying to get you to spend more, but it's just far more intimate, I think.
And you get more, and you can get a little bit more of a sales letter. You know, you get more information within there to get them to take that next step. So.
Yep. And I think what we're going to show you next with this phone stuff is going to blow your head up too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, this is great. I saw your thing, the announcement. I'm super excited to jump on. I'll probably be on a lot of these. And yeah, I've been wanting to get this kicked off. So once we get a hold of me after you guys finish up the call, or, you know, tomorrow or something, and let's get a plan in place to get a campaign going.
Will do. Definitely.
Yeah, let's segue over here. I had another person ask about our partnership with Phonewagon and how we're doing this tracking stuff. So.
Yep. So let's go into Phonewagon. So that's the solution we're using. I was looking around. I've used some like agency call tracking things here and there. But when I started poking into Phonewagon, I got really excited. I'm going to go in. And if you guys want, I don't know if it's the best time because you're going to hear me talking in both your ears. But what I set up here is, it's probably easiest just to show you the demo. So I'm going to get into a call flow. And you can see right here, I might have to blur this out later. Don't call the people calling us. But you can see as people call in, it gives you the phone number of who called. And you can also see that we're automatically sending an outbound text. So the call to action goes something like, hey, call in and listen to a recording about XYZ. And then the system will automatically send the text out. So I'm trying to get to a number so I can show you that. So if I go into call flows right here, I was able to record, and the interface is really smooth. I was able to just quickly record a message. You can also just type something out, and then it'll be transcribed into a human female voice. It sounds really good and fluid, not like a bot. But they call in, you say your message, and then you can have it set to automatically send a text back when they call. And what we're doing is, in this case, we're sending an affiliate link to Phonewagon, but you could say, hey, thanks for calling. Sorry I missed your call. Here's a link to my calendar to schedule. Michael, you could do, thanks for listening to the presentation, you know, the information about My Smart Blog. Here's the full here's the last recorded webinar we did. And then, of course, at that point, you have their cell number and your sales team can follow up. Some of the other stuff you can do is you can have the inbound calls forward to multiple people or round robin to people on your team. This right here. And then they have this IVR feature where you can have them enter a code, enter a number. And it would route to a specific number there. And that's useful because you can kind of track what people input and you can tell which campaigns worked really well.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing for you guys to do, I guess, to really, if you want to try it out, you could just call the number on the screen. Let's see. You could do it after. I'll drop it in the chat to everybody. But it's 727-477-1475.
Yeah, and you'll immediately get a text message as soon as you hit that, which is really the cool thing. Because then you can send them to your shopping cart, you can send them to your Calendly booking meeting, you could send them to whatever you want. And that's really the part where the offline is connected to the online. And that's what a lot of people struggle with print marketing is how do I, attribute a sale? How do I attribute a client? How do I track anything? And this is unquestionably the way to go because you can segment everything. You can have different codes for all your different marketing things and track everything down to the last number.
Yep. I'm doing one for Michael right here. So like, hi, first thing, if you're looking for new ways to generate mortgage origination, you might like what we're up to at My Smart Blog. But that's kind of like a script I like to use. If you are this, then you might like what we've got. We recently came up with an interesting method to get, Michael, I'm just totally making this up, VA loans. You can call 999-999-9999 to hear a pre-recorded message about it now. Thanks. P.S. If you call, I'll also text you back a full free webinar training about. So you can, you can really make a lot of offers. You can not mention that you're going to auto text them something. You can mention it. You did, but
or just say you're going to be there, and if you don't pick up, they just get a text message.
Yeah, just call to talk to me now, and then the text message could be like, "Hey, sorry I missed your call. Here's my booking link."
Yeah, that works really, really well. Like, sorry I missed your call. Book an appointment now, and we'll get started.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about the letter envelopes too. So, like, if you are sending these letters, why don't you go to review and show them that real quick? We pre-bought hundreds of thousands of really cool custom envelopes that don't look so normally kind of traditional to help kind of stick with the same flow we're going here of being kind of outside the box. So included with the price of the per letter card, that you can pick one of these custom envelopes so that, people are like, what the heck is this? This looks like an old time airmail letter. Looks like a cool American flag thing. So
I've been using the thank you one. It ties in with our thanks, but this opens you up. People are like, thank you for what? And then you open up and say, hey, thanks for opening this letter.
Yeah.
That's like your first line. Thanks for opening this letter. I just wanted to tell you that XYZ.
Yeah, and it's all about these small little subtleties, the handwriting, the envelope, the message you put in here. It all combines together to take what was previously 0.5% response rate with direct mail in the 90s to now a 5, 6, 7% response rate. If you marry all these things together and execute the way we're showing you, you can easily hit these types of numbers. I mean, these are online numbers. 5% conversion rate. That's a decent internet flow from pay-per-click to a sign-up form. Like, we're achieving the same ratios with old school print mailing, which is awesome because pay-per-click stuff is like $3 a click now, and we're $1. So it's crazy how much in 10 years things change.
Yeah, and the technology like Phonewagon, which allows you to marry this kind of new old school medium, and then you have this new school flow. They're still calling you, your business, but automatically you're engaging with a text. And I wanted to show Justin, I was telling you earlier about putting people who call onto a Facebook custom audience.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the icing on the cake. This is
this is nuts. We haven't set this up yet, but when I saw, I almost pooped this morning when I saw this. I'm trying to find where it went. I might have to go to their main site. But basically, they're integrated with Zapier. So just like we are at Thanks.io. And one of the things, one of the integrations is that you can send your data over to Facebook. So somebody calls, then that number matches at Facebook. You can add them to an audience in Facebook, and you can literally have a video that says, hey, thanks for calling my business a few minutes ago or yesterday.
Yeah. So really simply, that means potentially the person who got your letter in your mailbox will see your same ad on the Weather Channel. And imagine that two-pronged approach of digital and analog. That's when they start realizing, like, who the heck are these guys? Like, they must be something for real.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the multi-channel concept. And you know, a lot of our users up to now with the postcards, a lot of the funnels, we do a lot of our internal marketing. We start on Facebook and Google a lot of the times. You hit us up, you request a free card, you buy a product from an e-commerce store, and then this card shows up in the mail 7 days later. And it really, I have to say firsthand, I think most of our growth has come that way, right, Justin? It's somebody signs up, they kind of go away, they're like, they get distracted, and then they get this card in the mail, and they're logging back in and sending cards.
Yep.
And it could work the same way for anybody, any business.
Yep. And especially with all those different options for inbound data into our system. It's not just the buy leads. I mean, I'm sure all you guys have your own source of stuff. You can upload your own stuff with our CSV upload. You know, you can use the map search to find the stuff if you don't want to pay for things, or just use Zapier and suck it in through your CRM, suck it in through your lead forms, through FormStack, or whatever you're using to collect this data. We can pretty much make it happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd be interested to hear what people on the call think, because I always wonder about this. I'm going to show some examples of what other people are doing. But how would you feel do you mind if we use your cards as an example? Justin, I've been wondering if we should have a toggle that lets people do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joy, sorry, we can help you out. Just hit up our support. Joy. But here's just some examples of what people are doing. You helped Bomb Tech build this, right?
Yeah. They're a big e-commerce golf company. I mean, not too big. They're like kind of a local company, but they sell a lot, and they just wanted to say thank you after all their orders. So as soon as a thing hits their Shopify account, it automatically creates a thank you letter from the CEO and goes out. I mean, their price point for their stuff isn't cheap. So, you know, sending a nice little letter out, just thanking them for their business and solidifying the kind of the fact that they're part of the Bomb Tech team was what he wanted to do. And, you know, he doesn't have to do it manually now. It just happens.
Yeah. So it's just relationship building. He's not even making an offer in this card.
Yeah.
Right? Let's see here. And do you see any other questions there, Justin? I'm just kind of cruising.
No, I'm watching it.
I noticed this is really cool. Somebody keeps reminding about an auction that's coming up. So three months left till your auction. Real estate example.
But, you know, we have a ton of people that automate this stuff, that send it from Zapier or via our API. So, you know, having that option available has really made a lot of people send a lot of stuff because they don't have to manually do this. They just set up the idea of the flow that they want, and then they call us and say, make this happen. That's what we do. We have our team here ready to pretty much help anybody that just wants to automate the sending of direct mail. Just say, I use this CRM or this e-commerce platform or a WordPress site or whatever. I mean, just real super high level, and we just take care of it.
Yeah, so this one's Tyson Zahner. He's been using this for a while. I really like what he does. For anybody who has a membership website, or sells a course online, he thanks everybody automatically through Zapier. And I think if you do have a SaaS, Michael, you know, you have people getting your blogs your blog's solution. A lot of people buy stuff and then they forget they have it. So just to reinforce that, hey, you bought this thing, thanks for doing it, and getting them to log back in could be a really big deal. All right. Anybody have any? We have some time here. I know we just bounced around a lot. We really just wanted to show off that phone tracking, touch upon some of the updates with thanks. In future weeks, we'll probably have a more targeted topic. So I'll announce by email Thursday morning or the Wednesday before, hey, we're going to be talking about something specific. But we just wanted to get this kicked off today. Tamina, we'll definitely get you a recording of this. We'll send it out to everybody. And if you want to tell us about your business, we're here for you. Just mention what you're doing, and maybe we can live on the screen help you come up with a script. Maybe come up with some angles for ways you can use this.
Yeah, or just jump on support after this is over, and our guys literally can get started helping you do whatever. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah, I think one of the things the light bulb goes off is on the automation. If you have a CRM, if you have an online store, and you're not already automatically triggering cards in the mail or letters in the mail on actions there, you're probably leaving money on the table, just because the expense, the cost per card is pretty low relative to what most people's order value is or lifetime customer value is.
Yeah, and everybody has some type of software suite, either Salesforce or some little CRM their business runs on. Just that extra little hands-on touch, you'd be surprised at what will jump their conversion rate. So you just send in another 49-cent thing. If you have 100 leads, you're going to take 10 of those and be like, holy crap, this guy really cares, and get them to convert. And that, like we were saying before, that offline-online convergence really does move the dial.
So Joe's asking, how soon can the card go out? And Joe, it sounds like you do some real estate recruiting. The cards go out next day. We get them in the mail, right, Justin? Next business day?
Usually next day, and we're at our limit is 48 hours. So worst case scenario, it's 48 hours business days. Most go out the next day, and then it takes 5-7 days. We're USPS first class, so it's as fast as it's going to get there.
Yeah, it usually hits on day 6 or 7, calendar day 6 or 7, from what I've seen. So yeah, yeah. So the real estate recruiting example, as we showed before, I know a lot of you guys are in real estate. You can go right in here. I might regret showing this live, Justin.
Yeah.
But you can go right in here and you can say, hey, real estate agent. And I know the company that a lot of you guys recruit for. You could say, hey, you could write a letter and just tease and say, if you're curious, you've seen stuff about stock ownership, and
they don't have real estate agents that end in three letters. There's no three-letter companies only.
Yeah. oh, who aren't already? Yeah. But yeah, you can buy the list here, send the mail out. Again, have them call in is what I would do. We should probably talk. We're not trying to push Phonewagon hard here. I just am really excited about what they can do. But you can always have people call you directly. You can also just have people text your number. One of my favorite tricks is to say, hey, text me at, and then I give them my number. And then I know that based on what I told them to text, if I say text 123, I know what campaign it was. So lots we can do. Can you show me how a retargeting list works? Absolutely. So great point. We haven't shown that in a while, Justin. Is that fixed with Google? I know we were having some issues.
So Google's geo-targeting stuff has been wonky the last couple of weeks. They're fixing it in the next update. So if anybody's using that should be fixed with the next update in Chrome.
Yeah, so we leverage Google's location services, right? That's kind of the same stuff they use.
Yeah, it's like when somebody clicks, allow this website to see my location. Right now, if you do that, like even on Google Maps and you hit share my location, it'll show you somewhere like 20 miles away from where you're at.
So it's been a little off, but let's show everybody where that lives. So if I create a new, I'll click Create Retargeting List. Targeting. And then any mailing list you have, there's a little snippet of code down at the bottom left. And you can pop that on your website. If you need help getting it on your website, just let us know. We can, we might need access. But basically anywhere before the body or the header, I don't think it much matters. I put it anywhere, right, Justin?
Yep, anywhere.
Yep. And then what it'll do, let me find us. It's probably on our site, right?
Yeah, it's on Thanks. Go there on incognito.
Yep. There you go. And you see how it says Thanksio wants to know your location. And if somebody clicks allow, it adds them to a mailing list inside of Thanks. So if I come here, again, it's been wonky, so I'm crossing my fingers. And Justin, sometimes it doesn't add if it's not certain. Is that right?
Yeah. So we say if he's not within 100 or so meters of the actual known address, it doesn't trigger it.
Yeah. So let's go back here. Oh, I'm confusing myself with our sub accounts. Go to my main account. If you have sub accounts and all of a sudden your stuff's gone, that's because you're in a sub account. But I just want to show everybody. So the mailing lists themselves, let's go right here. Here it is. Here's our internal postcard retargeting list. So
yeah, this has been like 4 months of just collecting people's addresses without them ever telling us. We got 5,000 people.
Yeah, it's about a year now, isn't it? But whatever. It's a while.
Yeah.
Time's flying. But yeah, this is just today. We're 12 right here. We're getting about 20 a day. And so on autopilot, when people are added to the mailing list, we have a campaign sequence going out. So if I go to my campaigns, you can see we're sending now we just changed it. We're sending it 1 postcard and 1 letter automatically.
Yep. Yeah, which is super rad because, like, again, even if you don't use Zapier to do your automation, we have our whole automation engine in here that you just can set it and forget it.
Yeah, Joe's asking, explain that to me again. So in the real estate case, they don't even need to click what's your home worth. It'll just pop up to everybody who visits your website. And then if they happen to allow the address, it's going to collect their address. Now, again, like we said, Google's been having issues. There is a little bit of a margin of error. It's not 100% accurate.
Well, it's just not even triggering a lot of them. There'll be like 10 times more entries as soon as they fix this bug.
Yep. So Joe, that's the answer. It can be automatically send them a postcard. It can send a series, like a drip email. It can send 3 or 4. So the trigger, right, Tamina, the trigger is they must allow the location. Joe, to answer your question though, if you're collecting addresses through your What's My Home Worth page, you can easily hook us up through Zapier and always send them a card or a series of cards.
Yeah.
So anywhere you collect an address, a lot of our internal demand gen, you guys might have been through this where you saw a Facebook ad. I was probably doing something ridiculous, and then you click to request a sample. All we're doing there is kind of getting high on our own supply. You're clicking a Facebook ad. I want to show this in action. A form pops up inside of Facebook. I just want to get to it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. So I'll get the ad up. And then as soon as you click, Facebook pre-fills the address that they have on file for you in there. So if I click get offer here, and you see what it's doing? It's pre-filled my life story in there. And what most people do is they just click and they go to next. So if you are generating, Michael, a good example would be like mortgage refi leads, for your mortgage lenders. You've probably taught this before. But if you're generating seller leads, you could even do a direct offer like, hey, we'll mail you a coupon code, and then you send the postcard out with their coupon off your Facebook ad. And as soon as this is submitted at Facebook, we're using Zapier to then send the information into a Thanks.io mailing list, and then we're triggering our postcard and letter samples back out. So really,
so once they get the letter, we follow up again. So it's pretty cool. So we can call them then, and then we know them when they got interest on the letter and they actually saw it, we can hit them again.
Yeah, we can hit them again. And one thing we haven't done, we've been a little lazy, Justin. Like, we could easily now go into those to everybody who's opted in and send them a Christmas card.
Oh yeah. No, we definitely should set up those holiday stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, right. So Justin's talking about, we can actually inside of a campaign say, hey, anybody on this list, just send them a Christmas card automatically.
Yeah. Or Bastille Day, you never know.
Yeah, June solstice. So,
Yeah.
you know, for those of you who just want to stay in touch with your people, you're in kind of like a sales role and you want to keep the relationships going, the simplest thing to do would be to just get everybody on a list and send them 2 or 3 recurring cards a year just so they remember you exist. And we also have the birthday functionality as well if you have the birthdays. So it'll send on their birthday.
Yeah, just responding to Mina there, there really is no specific best practices for real estate. I mean, everything we showed you is the best practices. But if you go on Thanks.io and go to our help desk, you will find a quick start specifically for real estate that has all this stuff here. So if you want a rundown on all this stuff, just go to the quick start and then you have all the how-tos on how to do this.
I'm going to be showing an example soon. I just sent a test out, but one thing for getting listings, I saw somebody, I tried sending this and I saw another agent send this. And the letter kind of goes like, hey, I've got some buyers. They're in this price range. They've been looking for a while. We're having trouble finding something. If you happen to know anybody who might want to sell, or if you've thought about it yourself, give me a call. So, you know, if you think about, you send that to a couple hundred people in one neighborhood, and there's bound to be a handful who are on the fence about selling. And if you're really specific about the buyer and what they're looking for, there's a good chance you're going to get some calls there. So
yeah.
But yeah, so many different ways for real estate, for any business. I mean, I don't think we've come across any business yet where we couldn't figure out some way to market them with direct mail.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being on today. This felt a little bit like a pitch fest to me, Justin.
It did. It was a little pitchy, but the attendees went up from the beginning, which is a good thing. Usually it goes down.
Yeah. So we're not going to always pitch on these. I do plan to plan a little more in depth for any of you who've been on any of our other webinars. We'll have a topic every week. It'll be something structured that you can kind of take and really use. We'll get into specific scripts. Some weeks maybe we'll have some of you guys on as a guest. And yeah, thank you for being here.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. We'll get the replay out as soon as possible. And if you haven't already done so, it's the dirtymarketingmastermind.com is the Facebook group. I think I just bought a domain, dirtymarketingmastermind.com. And throughout the week, between these webinars, we'll be posting examples and different tips and tricks there as well in the Facebook group. All right, thanks, everybody. Michael, I'll follow up, okay? Right. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good day, guys.
Okay. Great. Tamina, I'll stay on. Ask your question. Go ahead. Tamina had a question. Just email us support@thanks.io if you have any questions at all. We'll reply back quick. Thanks, guys.